At some point, we have to realize, guys, we are one person. We have so much limited hours in a day.
A lot of things work slowly, and I feel like a lot of people don't realize that almost.
Right. I didn't forget. I moved on because it holds no weight on my life anymore.
Welcome to the Alyssa and Julian Podcast.
I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Julian, and this is the Alyssa and Julian Podcast. What's good, y'all? We back again for another week with another do-rag on, you know what I mean?
Oh, God. I'm going to get you, like, colorful ones. You have to wear, like, each one.
Yeah, do it.
Like, you'll have a new one each episode. So if you watch, you guys at home,
comment on the color of the do-rag.
you'll enjoy different colors.
Yo, they got packs on
It'll
Amazon,
have, like, a
bro.
purple head. Really?
Yeah, just get the different color packs on
I'd have to
Amazon.
look into it. Anyways, dude, sitting in front of a microphone, talking in front of a microphone makes me feel so official. Anyways, what are your intentions for the week?
What are your intentions for the week? I know mine.
Oh, are you going or am I going?
You're going.
So, my intentions for this week are mostly, I kind of mentioned it in the last week, but like this week, it really has to happen. I have to like mentally and like actually like pack. I have to prep packing. When you're hearing this, we leave for Florida in 5 days. 5 days
5?
from when they're hearing this.
Oh my goodness. That's scary,
Crazy.
bro.
So this week, I have to, like, when this goes up, like, I have the day off, so I'll probably be, I don't know if I'll be packing yet. I'll probably start making a list of what, like, I need, because JJ, I'm basically, I swear, I'm just gonna, like, pick up, like, a big heap of clothes. It's gonna go in the suitcase. I have to try to make sure he has, like, what do you think the weather will be like in Florida in March?
Warm. Probably 80s.
So I have to make sure he's like
70s,
comfy,
80s.
but not like sweaty. Because if he has a sweaty baby, he gets cranky.
Oh, he gets so cranky.
So
dude.
I have to make sure.
What do you mean we went there in March, bro? She acts like we didn't go there in March the first time we went together.
Well, yeah,
literally
but we
went
didn't
there.
have him.
Yeah, but we know what the weather was like, though.
I honestly don't really remember.
I haven't been there in March since I went with you, so like.
I went, well, yeah, and then before that, the last time I went was in January. But it's weird because, like, to us, like, it was nice, but like
I
to the
went in
people
January,
living
too.
there, they're like, oh my God, it's cold.
Yeah, we're like,
But like for us, it's pretty nice because like we have like winter here where
Yeah.
they still have like 60, 70 degree weather.
Yeah, it breaks
So,
up the winter, honestly.
Yeah, it's weird. So for me, like I could just be dressing different than like how they're dressing. I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, anyways, I have to like actually start filling up a suitcase, making sure he's good, making sure I'm good between the suitcase and the diaper bag to make sure I'm bringing enough at least to get down there. I'm not too worried about like if I have to buy diapers when we're down there. Like that's not really a horrible thing. But between like the diapers, the formula, whatever I'm bringing, like all that stuff, like I have to start like prepping mentally and physically. It's gonna be crazy.
Wow. That just made me so anxious talking about the trip, like, and in this tone that it's like a few days away. Like that just made me anxious, but it's fine. I'll be okay. I think that I need to prep in a different way. So like, that's going to be my intention of the week. I think I need to prep myself mentally to kind of start planning out how I want the trip to go in terms of video wise, because it is going to also be a video and I want it to be fun, but also like, in terms of what I'm going to need equipment wise while we're down there. So like I could plot and only bring the necessary stuff because I don't want to overpack electronics. God forbid something happens to my suitcase or something, luggage gets lost. Can you imagine that? I would be, like, bro, I'd be freaking out.
He wouldn't want to leave the airport because he would just be sitting there crying.
I probably would be. I would lose my mind.
I think we kind of touched on that in the last episode where we both said we were packing for 2.
Yeah.
I was packing for me and the baby, and Julian was packing for himself and YouTube. His YouTube is his +1 in that sense, so that's his second that he's packing for.
I think we'll probably stream while we're down there.
Really?
That's what I was
You think
thinking.
so?
Yeah, I figured I could bring some stuff, do like some IRL streams while we're in the hotel room or something. That's what I was thinking.
I don't honestly like the Thursday we're down there.
That might be too busy of a day.
It's his birthday.
So it'd be way
So
too
we
busy
probably
of a day.
won't, but maybe there'll be another day we're just chilling at night if we come back like
Friday or something.
yeah, but even down there, like if there's a day we're just like chilling, having like a slow day, because we're going down there for like 2 different events. So maybe on like a night before I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. But maybe, yeah, if we're just chilling for a night or something, we come back a little early, hanging out.
Well, so the thing that inspired me was like when K&J was here in New York, they like most of the time I saw them, somebody had their live stream going, and I literally downloaded the app that Will was using to stream.
Oh,
Like
really?
I have it on my phone now.
What app is it?
It's called Prism Live.
Oh, it's not just like, oh, I just attacked myself with my own mic. You can't Twitch on like, I mean, you can't Twitch. You can't stream on like the Twitch app on your phone.
You could, but Prism
thought
allows you to
that's how
have
they were doing it.
overlays and stuff like that. So like you're better off doing that.
Interesting.
Yeah, because they were able to put sub goals up and stuff.
I saw that. I was wondering how that happened.
So I think I also do need to, set myself up with like sub goals and stuff. I don't take Twitch seriously enough though. So that's probably something that I want to look at for my next intention of the week for when we get back. But yeah, I think that for now it's going to be the literally pack only what's necessary, but still have what I need to make a quality product.
That's insane. Holy.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, geez.
Streaming platforms. Where can you find us?
Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music,
Google Podcast.
anywhere you stream your
Alyssa and Julian
Podcast.
Podcast. That's my voice in the beginning. If y'all didn't know, I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, the intro of this.
Yeah, that's
It's
my
like,
voice.
Welcome to the Alyssa and Julian Podcast.
Yeah, that's my
Julian
voice.
recorded it and then like slowed it down and like kind of matched like the names to like when he says it. It's pretty cool if you ask me, but
Oh, I did do that?
yes.
I matched the names?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. That happened by accident, I swear.
Okay. Well, you should have
the
just
time,
taken the credit
I
because it
wasn't-
matches really well.
I wasn't skilled back then, so I did it. I
does.
just kind
You
of did
slowed
it.
it down, and then like when you say it, like the name pops up. Like it'll be like Alyssa and Julian, and then it goes podcast.
Oh, I did that. Maybe I did do that on
I think
purpose.
you did because
Did I?
you usually match a lot of stuff to that. Like in your videos, you match like when you switch things to like the beats. So I would be surprised if you didn't, but I'm pretty sure you did.
Interesting. Oh, well,
Okay.
now I got to rewatch
Anyways.
the podcast. Well, at least
You
just the
don't
intro.
watch my
I do, but I got to watch at least the intro.
post.
Oh, here
Holy.
we go. Oh, my
All right,
goodness.
so so that works perfect in today's episode. So today's episode is going to be advice.
Oh, okay. I was
So
like, what?
my advice to you is to watch my edits for the podcast. Thank you very much.
All right. Great
That's actually
advice.
the end of the podcast. Bye.
Great advice. Thanks.
So on our, I don't remember what Instagram I put it on actually. I'm trying to get like onto our Alyssa and Julian podcast Instagram if I want to post stories relating to the podcast. I'm trying to post it on there. So if you don't follow us on there, please go follow us. Try to get in on these episodes. If I have like requests, like a lot of times I have questions and most of them relate to either planning an episode or it's going to be involved in the episode, if that makes sense. But we also have a separate Alyssa and Julian Instagram account, mostly from our reaction channel, but I know a lot more people follow us on that. So I do usually post on there because I know a lot more people will see it and be involved. But go follow our Alyssa and Julian podcast Instagram so I could start using that for the podcast specifically. So I don't remember what Instagram I put it on, but I had posted something and I asked, what's the best advice you've ever been given? So I have the list of what we got in. We're going to read it. We're going to talk about it. Not to like roast the advice you guys have been given, but some of these I read and I was like, I love that.
You want to hear the first advice that came to mind that I thought of?
What?
One of my uncles told me, it doesn't matter how fast you're going, as long as you can stop the car when you need to.
Oh God.
When I
I
was
swear,
learning
if
how
you
to
ever
drive.
told JJ that, I'm gonna be like,
Oh my goodness. It changed my life, man. It's he said what he needed to get me to stop being scared of driving because I was scared of hitting the gas pedal. So he said what he needed to, which is the statement alone is hilarious. And my mom still is mad about that to this day. It's so funny.
So I'm kind of reading it the way it was typed as you guys sent it in. So I don't know if some of these were supposed to be like combined into one, if they're supposed to be separate. So I'm just putting that out there. If I'm reading it wrong, I'm sorry. I'm just reading it how you sent it in, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So the first one is, I feel like you're gonna love this one.
I have to rate it? Like, what am I doing?
No, we're just commenting on it. Like,
oh, okay.
The best advice, like, oh, it's pretty good, or oh, you could add this to it. I don't know. The first one, I know you're gonna like. It's kind of what you say, just different worded different. Keep pushing, keep striving, and always believe in your dreams.
100%, bro. Oh my goodness, people give up way too early on their dreams,
this is
bro.
What I want to talk about. I'm so excited. Like,
people give up way too early, man. Like, listen, I'm telling you right now, like, if I gave up after my first failure on here, if I gave up after my first failure, period, I would be trapped in a cubicle somewhere.
God.
Nothing wrong with that, by the way, but I would be trapped in a cubicle or trapped at like my first job at my grocery store, stocking shelves. And again, nothing wrong with that, but like that's not who I wanted to be.
That's not Julian.
I would not have been happy like that. See,
I love this one for that part too, because I feel like people just expect sometimes for you to like do something, drop something, make something for the first time and have it like blow up.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always work like that. You're going to put some stuff out. It's going to go really well. It'll look like it's going amazing. Like the next thing, you maybe not as much. It takes time. Like a lot of things work slowly. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that almost.
Right.
Like that would be like if I actually made the YouTube channel that everyone was like, oh my God, make. I finally made it, have some videos on there. That would have been like if I expected to have like the 1,000 followers like overnight.
Well, so even for me though, like I had a channel that had almost 13,000 subscribers. I made a new channel. It hasn't even hit 500 yet. Hopefully by the time you're listening to this, it does. We'll see. Because I think my next video is a banger, by the way. So like at this point when we're recording this, I think it's a really good video and it has the potential to get me there. But like it hasn't hit that yet. And it's not like it's something I don't think about, but like imagine if I let that define my success. If I was like, dude, I'm so awful. I haven't hit the number I hit before. Like I should just give up. Like, no, good things take time, you know, and I'm actually...
How long did it take you to get that many subscribers on your last channel?
13,000. It took me... I started that channel in 2013, and I want to say I hit it around 2019. I stopped uploading on there in 2020. So
like 6-7 years.
Yeah. I was on there.
It's a slow grow, but like it's a good process.
Well, the other thing is I was also very inactive and very like spur of the moment. Like I didn't run it the way I should have been running it, and I wasn't committed to it the way I should have been committed to it. The way I am now and the way I love it, I'm actually glad that I failed on my last channel because I needed to fail on my last channel.
Ooh.
Sometimes you need to fail.
You need that.
Sometimes you need to fail to test your resolve to see if you're actually committed to something. Because if something comes easy to you, it's very easy when things come easy to you to say, oh yeah, I'm good with this. This is what I'm going to do. But it's how much are you going to love it on those down days when, you know, the lights are off and like, you can't pay your light bill. You can't pay your rent. Like, do you still love what you do at that point?
At that point, they'll be like, this is supposed to do more for me, blah, blah, blah. Right.
I was supposed to make more. Do you really love it? Do you really love it at that point? And if you don't, then, you know, you don't love it. That's fine. But at that darkest point, if you're still thinking about that thing, that's where you're supposed to be, in my opinion.
I agree.
And that's where I've been from the start. I think in 2017 is when I really made a shift in my life and I believed in myself fully. And I said, this is the thing I want to do. And like I said, I failed, but I'm now shifting to a point where I understand where I need to be, you know? And I feel like I'm like going nowhere with what I'm saying, but you guys get it. Like I started taking myself way more seriously and really striving and being, I want to say purposeful, I guess, in what I'm doing.
The next one kind of makes me laugh because like, I feel like I just agree almost 110%. If you want something done right, do it yourself.
Oh shoot. Okay.
This is a hot take.
Cause like yes, 110% yes. But at some point we have to realize, guys, we are one person. We have so much limited hours in a day. We do have to trust others with like tasks. We have to learn to delegate.
But
I got roasted so bad in one of my last jobs because I was a manager. I was a leader.
the first thing I thought of was like my job, but I'm like, ugh.
They were telling me all the time, oh, you know, it's fine. Like you're a good worker, but like you don't delegate anything. I'm like, yeah, because they suck. Like they're not doing it right.
Tea.
That's what I would say, honestly. And it wasn't that they sucked because they were bad. They just didn't care because they were high school kids.
They
You know
don't
what I
care
mean?
enough, so they do it at like the least possible effort
Yeah.
when like you need it done a little bit better.
Yeah.
But like it's basically they're in the mindset of it's done, so like what's the problem type of situation.
Not even that. And a lot of times it wouldn't even get done right, or it would barely get done, or at all, if at all. Exactly. So then they're like, oh, well, you got to still learn to delegate. You got to learn how to, and you know, there is power in that. Like I will admit, like to a certain degree, yes. Like, can I get more videos out if I were to have an editor and, you know, have a team? Yes, I could. But at the same time, you know, you do have to train and you do have to pay and all sorts of stuff. So like, yes, 110%, you get things done better, right? If you are done right, if you do them yourself. But trusting people and empowering people to help you is important. I'll give you guys a great example. I brought Alyssa with me to the K&J meetup. By now you should, if you haven't seen that video, go check out that video. It came out really good. But I brought Alyssa with me to the K&J meetup. Beforehand, I said, here, I need to show you how to properly hold this camera so it's not shaky. What did I do? I empowered her to help me with my videography for that day. You know, so like, cause I had to shoot stuff on my phone to get a short done. So like I couldn't do both. And then once I had enough footage from my short, I took the camera back and started filming on my own. But if the video might not have come out as good if I was trying to do everything myself. So that's like a little caveat to that, but yes. You know, things do get right because no one else has the vision in your head like you do. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you got to trust people sometime, and you have to have a team sometimes, you know?
See, because that's the first thing I thought of was like work-wise, because like sometimes you know you want something done. Sometimes you just know it's either not going to get done the way you want, or like Julian said, barely even at all. So sometimes you just like save your breath and you're like, all right, I'll do that too. Let me just add that to my list of things to do or add that to my plate. But like he said, like we're one person. So then it's either by the time you get to that and you want to do that, you're not doing some of the other stuff on your list, or you're doing everything. But after you finish, you're exhausted because you literally did everything instead of giving other people like tasks that you could have like saved yourself on, like saved your, what am I looking for?
Energy.
Yeah, that. So you could have saved, like you wouldn't be as tired.
Got a lot of enemies.
All right.
Got a lot of people trying to drain me of this energy. All right. Drake, don't come for me. I didn't play the music. I just sang it.
But yeah. So like you have to think of that like in a sense.
Just be careful, man, because like
you don't want to push yourself down.
Destructive. Those can be destructive mindsets. You know, like we got to be careful and watch the mindsets that we have, because mindset is everything at the end of the day. And yes, empowering yourself is good and trusting yourself fully is good, but also trusting others and giving yourself an opportunity to rest and breathe is good too.
I feel like also delegating tasks kind of teaches people, which they might not want to learn, but like it wouldn't be a bad thing for them to learn. So like it's kind of good for both of you. Like it's good for you because you're not putting so much on your plate, and it's good for them because like they're possibly learning something they didn't know before. And
imagine if I never taught you how to edit reactions.
Right. He would literally be doing all of them because I'd be like,
all the reactions, all of my videos, all the podcast episodes.
That's a lot of editing.
Yes. For one person.
Every single day.
Yes. For one person, that'd be like,
whew. Oh my God.
Yes. And then, and don't forget my Twitch VODs, you know, like I got my Twitch VODs too.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like granted, like those are probably like almost as easy as the reactions because they're like small little clips. Like it's not like it's a whole video.
Yeah.
Which reactions?
Sometimes it is a whole video.
Reactions are pretty really.
Yeah.
Reactions are pretty easy because like there's not much editing that like kind of needs to be done for those.
Mm-hmm.
But then like after you do those, you're still like, oh, I have this whole video to edit, or oh, I have this whole podcast to edit, and oh my god, yeah, that it might not seem like a lot in a sense, like if you think about it, but like when you're actually in it and you're doing it, it's gonna seem like so much. And I'm telling you, by the time you're done, you're gonna be so exhausted and tired.
And honestly, sometimes it's not true that you can do things better than someone else. I can give you plenty of examples of where people have been better than me at something. Right down to editing this podcast. I looked at Alyssa. I said, you're way more passionate about me. Not that I don't like doing it, but she loves it so much more than me. So she'll give it the TLC that it needs and deserves. So I was like, here, you go ahead. You edit it. Because, I'll show you the basics on how to get it done. But like, doing things like this, like that you care about and you're passionate about, will give you the desire to learn even more, to make it even better. So for me, my desire isn't to learn more about editing a podcast. I want to edit, a narrative or a storytelling video. Like those are like the things I want to edit. So those are the things I try to like train myself on how to edit. Mm-hmm. Where for her, she's like, oh, I really like this podcast. So like she's been doing stuff for that, making thumbnails and doing this whole thing, but like she taught herself this stuff because she was excited about the podcast.
I've done so much. Like I've talked before, Canva is literally my best friend. I love Canva so much. So I started Julian was editing the podcast, so I would make the thumbnail on Canva, but I've took over editing. I love it. And then I do the thumbnails, but then I started playing around on Canva because they literally have a section that's for Instagram stories within itself. So I started making some to like post to kind of promote it a little more on our Instagram. So it's like up on every platform. You can find us on almost every platform. And I kind of like to direct people like to it, like, hey, check it out, listen, blah, 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 follow us, like that type of stuff. Like I said, I want people like interactive on here with us. So I just try to promote in like almost any way I can. So I started making like literally 3 different Instagram stories for like 3 different accounts just to get it up and out there. So like a lot of people notice it. Julian will start to make like reels and shorts and all this stuff that I want to post. Like we just try to put out a lot of content for this. So it kind of, I don't want to say like had to be broken up between the two of us, but like I feel like if Julian still did what he did, like it would have been a lot of work for him because
to be more effective, it had to be broken up.
Right. It like, I don't know, like it definitely is like a team effort anyways. Like we're both in on the podcast, but I feel like besides like this part, like the recording, like obviously I need him here, but like the producing, like the outside of it, the marketing of it, like I don't know, all that stuff, like it still needs the same teamwork. Yeah. The same effort. Yep.
Yeah, 100%, man. I have like nothing to add to that. You nailed it.
All right. So we'll go to the next one. The next one, I loved the beginning of it. It's like, you'll hear, like when I say it, you'll be like, yeah, everyone says that. But like I said, I don't know if this is supposed to be like 2 or combined in 1. I'm just reading it, like I said, how you guys sent it in. So it's everything happens for a reason, for good and on its own time. I thought the ending of that was interesting. Like
everything happens for a reason, for good and on its own time.
Like
Why do you do this to me?
I love that everything happens for a reason. Like I could say like I'm kind of a believer in that. I feel like the on its own time is kind of interesting because I never thought of things like that. I don't want to say like the for good is always good, depending on the situation.
It's not always good, but
on its own time.
On its own time gets me because she knows she knew this one would get me. She knew because I'm not the type of person to let things happen on its own time. I've never been like that.
I kind of like that.
I know you do. I know. I don't like that. I guess I'm impatient. It's whatever. So maybe I should just let things kind of happen in its own time. And it's very true. It could, very well. Actually, no, things do happen on its own time. But
some things will, no matter what you try to do about it.
But that doesn't excuse you from putting work in. And that's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. Because a lot of people say stuff like that and they think it like excuses them from putting work in and working towards something. Like things happen for good in its own time after you've put the work in to make it, to set yourself up.
That's true.
Because opportunities come for good and on their own time. But if you're not ready to seize the opportunity, that's your fault for not being ready. Okay.
I feel like the on its own time kind of like popped out at me because I feel like everything happens for a reason. Like I said, I believe that in a sense, but some things like you don't want to rush into.
No, yeah,
like some things, if you rush too much, like it doesn't work out. It's all gonna feel like it's falling apart. Blah blah blah. But like if you let things happen like kind of gradually, like I know you're like super excited for something to happen, like you are kind of impatient, but like sometimes you just have to like remind yourself that you have to be patient. It's all going to come together. It's not going to happen either right now or right away, but it is coming.
That's literally YouTube every day.
Right.
That's literally us every single day with this content. Yeah. Like we upload every single day. We upload these videos every single day. And, you know, we grow, we grow steadily, but like, it's just like, we're waiting for that like big growth to happen. You know what I mean? Like that deciding moment where we're like, oh yeah, we're here. You know what I mean? And, you know, not saying we don't have like great moments, because we have great moments. Like a lot of people like stop in who are like people who have said like, yo, we're here. Like they stop in, they comment, they talk to us, they know who we are. And like, that's cool and all too. But like, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to be at their level.
I mean,
like I'm
everyone
ready.
Always dreams like that. Like I feel like every YouTuber dreams to be like at the highest, like top tier. They always they're watching someone that's bigger than them on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they like dream to be on that level. And like I said, it'll come. Like it's not gonna be a thing that like pops overnight, but like you'll make it there. Like you'll slowly, like you'll see growth every day. Like your numbers will go up a little every day. So like you're on your way. It's just one of those things that will come like at its time.
Yeah. Like, yeah. You can't rush it. You can't. It's hard, man. For impatient people like me, it gets frustrating, but you learn that there's really nothing you can do. All you can do is make the best thing possible for the audience and the people watching you and just hope for the best. And that's the nature of the business. That's why not everyone can do it, because not everyone's built like that. Not everyone is built to like sit there and say, all right, I'm doing the best I can in spite of what y'all give me. You know, and that's it. I have to work a lot of times in spite of how I'm feeling. You know, a lot of times I might not be feeling right, but I still got to work, you know, still got to show up.
And the next one we have kind of is the same thing. It kind of goes into the same like aspect. It's and whatever needs to happen will at its time. So it's basically the same thing. Like whatever needs to happen is gonna happen. It's just, again, you can't rush into some things. It's not gonna work right in a sense.
Yeah.
If you rush into it, it really just, you need to take its pace. You need to go at the same pace that it needs to happen at, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like some things just need to like,
I'm laughing because like I'm not good at this. I haven't mastered this shit. I seriously, I haven't. Like, I'm that guy that will rush into things and later on be like, yo, I shouldn't have did that.
Julian will like agree with these, but be like, yeah, that's not me.
It's like, not. I'm telling you right now. I can't do that. Yeah, it's not me. It's not, because like I'm that guy that wants to make things happen, no matter what. I'm always trying to make something happen. Like I'm trying to like make something appear out of nothing, like 24/7. Sometimes it works for me. A lot of times the nothing blows up in my face, but it's fine.
So this next one, I don't know. It's forget the past and focus on the future.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
See, I feel like yes and no, because like I would definitely like focus on the future, like focus on what's coming. But a lot of the time, like you don't want to forget the past. Like you'll need some of like what went wrong in the past. You'll need as like a little boost for the future. So you don't want to fully forget.
Can I expose you?
Go ahead.
Alyssa is not. This is something we're working on Alyssa with. She's not the person to like forgive for something in the past. We're working on it. But like she will literally like linger on stuff for far too long. I'm like, yo,
I should have asked what he wanted to expose me for.
They did that a while ago. You gotta let it go, bro. Like, Cause like honestly, like I'm that guy. Like you could have like upset me a year ago, and I was upset. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was upset. Am I over it now? Yeah.
No.
Do I forgive you? Yeah.
No.
Did I forget about it? No. No, I didn't forget. I moved on because it holds no weight on my life anymore. And I feel like that's something like I've been talking to her about with stuff just in general, man. Like if you wrong Alyssa now, you're dead to her, bro. Seriously, like, yo, you're dead to her, bro. I hate to expose you like that, but like that's something like that's what I'm saying. I said all this to say I fully agree with that, and I think that is a big part
Julian
of like
knows from experience. No, I'm just kidding.
that's a big part of being.
He's like, let me tell you the story.
That's a big part of like, you know, being like mentally. I don't know. It's like I almost want to say synergetic, but like, is that a word?
You
have like synergy, I guess is what I'm thinking of.
I don't
like,
know if that's what you're looking for.
no,
Honestly,
I'm thinking of
feel like
peace. Peace. That's what I'm looking for.
Give
Peace.
you. It'll make you like mentally free.
Yeah, and
like,
you'll be at peace.
Yes, with yourself almost.
Yeah.
And with everyone, like it's kind of like, okay, fresh start type of thing. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like sometimes it's weird because I'll go through mindsets where like, I'm like, all right, whatever. Like you're over it. But like then another thing pops up and like you're in a whole other instance like a week later and you're like, haha, just kidding. Like, never mind.
Never mind. I still think about
So that's
that
why I'm
one
like,
time.
I definitely agree
that
on
one
the,
time at band camp.
I definitely agree on like the focus on the future part. But I don't
This
think you
is-
necessarily always want to forget the past
This is where
because it'll help you also in the future.
No. We're gonna go back to a few of them ago where Alyssa said Julian will be like, haha, yeah, I agree with that, but that's not me. This is Alyssa's. This is her time.
This is my time to shine. All right, well, quickly over that one. See, I feel like you'll like this one, but like part of it's not you.
Oh well, here we go.
It says pray and be specific and patient.
Okay, see now we're just like taking shots at this point.
I literally sent it. It was like directed at Julian.
Now we're just taking shots at this
It's
point.
like, Julian just talked about how he wasn't patient.
I'm
but
not
he'll definitely
patient.
agree with the first.
I'll pray,
other
and I'll pray
and
for
be
stuff
specific
and be
because
very
he'll
specific.
know what he wants. He knows what he wants done.
They taught us how to pray as a kid, man, and like I was the kid. I'm gonna tell y'all a story, man. I'm gonna tell y'all. I actually never talked about this. When I was a little boy, literally, I think I was in like 5th grade or something like that, and I was at the mall with my mom, and I had a track phone I was using, so you had to buy minutes for it or whatever. No, this was 6th grade. Sorry. So I had the little track phone. I was using it. Whatever. We went to the mall. And this guy was like, "Hey, come on in here. We have Motorola Razors. Like we're giving them away to customers with good credit." And I looked at my mom. I was like, "Mom, I got this track phone. Like, can I get that?" She looked at me. She's like, "Julian, I don't know. Like, I don't have good credit." So I was like, "All right. Well, he was like, the guy said, all right, just give it a try, man. Give it a try. It's okay. Like worst we could say is no." And Mom was like, "Yeah, all right." So like what I did, she was over there talking to the guy. I literally went over to the case that the phone was sitting in. I touched the case and I like prayed over the case.
Really?
Yes. And that is, let's just say she got approved.
Really?
Yeah. Like she got approved like on the spot. And I walked out the store with the phone.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So like I've been doing stuff like that like since I was a kid. I've learned to be careful about what you pray for though. Like you don't want to just like, that was like basically me like at that age testing it. You know what I mean? And testing my faith and my belief in God and everything. And I think it was cool at a young age to like learn or experience something like that, and experience like something that felt very supernatural to me in the moment. And now as I gotten older, that relationship has kind of changed, and it's more of a case where now pray for what's important, because like, God's not like a mall where you could just shop in, you know what I mean? Not to get too religious on you guys, but like I've grown out of that mental state, I guess, of just like, all right, let me pray for this item that I want, or let me pray for this thing I want. Only item I think I prayed for is my Tesla. I'm not gonna lie. I did. I sat in that car and I did pray for my Tesla. I'm not gonna lie. It's sitting outside, but I did pray. I did. But I'll tell you the new prayer that I've said. is more so along the lines of, if it's for me, Lord, let me have it. And that's a better prayer to pray, because you don't want to just take something and pray for it, because you never know. Like, you got to, the Bible says, I don't even know if the Bible says it, but like my parents or my grandparents always say, like, be careful what you pray for. Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. You know what I mean? I think they get that from the Bible. Guys, I'm not like that crazy into like I'm not, like, I shouldn't say I'm not that crazy into, like, I'm very religious. I'm very, very religious. I've never been that guy to like memorize the Bible word for word like that. You know what I mean? So like, that's something I would love to get to that point. I've never been there. Anyway, not to make this like a crazy religious podcast, but those are some of my life experiences.
See, I feel like you definitely want to like be specific about like what you want in a sense. And I definitely agree on like the be patient, because like we were just like basically ranting about that, like things will come, they just actually like take time. But because you don't want to push too much, and then if things come too fast or they don't come like exactly like how you want it, then you're basically just disappointing yourself, and like you don't want that. But like, I don't know, like it's hard.
You're right. It's a balance. And that's all I'm gonna say. It's a balance.
Well, the last one I have is live life like today is your last day. You tell Julian that and he'll go crazy every single time.
I'm about to say, you gotta be careful. You gotta plan a little bit for the future. Yes. But at the same time, you do have to, you only get one life. You only get one life, and you got to live. And I don't know. I see, especially like growing up, like through high school, towards the end of high school, beginning of college years, Gary Vaynerchuk, I got really big talking about like not partying, not going out, not having a social life, and just working on growing that business, working on growing that social media account. And like, he's an outlier. A lot of people were like trying to replicate that and do what he says and do it, but he's an outlier. Not a lot of people can handle that and do that. You know what I mean? Like, I know for me, I couldn't. That style doesn't work for me. I can't keep that up. I tried it. I know I tried it, but I needed a social life. I lost my stream streak because I needed a social life. I had streamed 262 nights in a row, but I remember
there was one night.
I lost it.
There was one night when I don't think we were dating yet, but we were hanging out, and you were like, no, like, it's okay. Like, I'm going to ruin it, And I was like, no, like, I don't want to be the reason for that. And I literally was leaving, and like, he was in an apartment complex then, and like, he had walked me downstairs, but ran back upstairs so he can make it in time to stream.
It was like 12:50.
No.
I mean, 11:50. It was 11:50.
So like, he still would have started and like had that day like an account. But I was like, dude, like, nah, like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, you don't need it. Yeah, no, don't do that. Like, yeah, I literally was like, I'm going to leave and you're going to stream. And like, ran back to go and start it. And I was like, literally go. Like, you're going to miss it. Like, you better start going back upstairs now. Like, go. That
time in my life was crazy. It was different. But like, I just lost the passion for the game at that point too. So like, it was hard.
Yeah.
Gaming's hard. Like, people hit me up now, like, because people who I grew through the 2K community with and stuff, and they hit me up now and they're like, yo, like, what's your advice on doing this with the game? What's your advice with that? I'm like, dude, like, don't even ask me, because I have no idea.
His advice is gonna be like, stop.
Nah, literally.
Don't do it anymore.
Because like, I feel like
it's lost its touch.
So much like in YouTube advice has changed today. Like, like, I could go on a whole rant about that, but like, so much YouTube advice changes daily. So it's like, dude, like, when people hit me up asking me for like YouTube advice and different things, I'm like, it's up to you. It's up to you. Like, at the end of the day, it's up to you. Like, whatever you deem is best.
I mean, that's very true in a sense. So.
I wish somebody told me that back in the day, though. Like, nobody told me like how much it really was up to me and up to me being okay. Because like, a lot would have been different if it was up to me. Like, I didn't realize, I guess I'll put it to you like this. I didn't realize what was important in doing this stuff. And I lost at this game because I didn't realize what was actually important. That's deep. We're gonna step away from that for a second, but back to what your quote: live today like it's your last day. Yes, but also still have something planned for the future to know that you and your family will be okay.
Right.
That's my advice.
You can't actually do everything in a day.
Well,
so
one question before you keep going. Now, was it a parent who sent that in, or was it someone who's still like in high school? And do you remember?
I don't remember. It definitely wasn't like a parent.
I was gonna say
someone younger
because
I don't know grade wise.
We're looking at this as parents too,
right?
So
that's
like,
true.
Live today like it's your last day is actually probably good advice for someone in high school or in college. You know what I mean?
I mean,
like,
in a sense, yeah, but you don't want people to go too crazy because like people in high school will take that and do like the extreme, like.
Well, don't do the extreme.
Right.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
But, like think about some people will be like, okay, and they'll be doing things like they always wanted to do, but it could be like
detrimental to your future.
Right. Like you don't want to. I don't want to say like.
Have some regard for your future.
Like have fun, but. Like,
with regard for your future.
Your future in mind. A lot of people I feel have done stuff in like high school that hasn't like not ruined, but they couldn't do what they wanted to do in college because of stuff they had done in high school.
Right.
Whether it be sports, a school that they had that like, I don't know, schools do watch what you do.
Schools watch what you do.
Schools watch what you do.
They
for
also
sports.
watch you on social media.
They watch you online.
Jobs watch you.
Right. They all watch. So you have to be careful on definitely what you do.
High future job if you're watching me.
Still have a future job.
Hey, just letting you know, future job. I'm probably watching myself because I'm my future employer.
All right.
Anyway.
So that's all the advice I had that was sent in on Instagram. I figured we can kind of have a little advice session.
Okay.
Kind of give advices we've heard, advices we liked, advices we would give out.
You already know
after
to
future you, to your son, to them, like viewers if they're younger.
You gotta give me a topic though, because after every video, you know I always say keep grinding, keep chasing your dreams. Nothing worth having comes easy, man. I mean that. Nothing worth having comes easy. Like keep grinding, keep chasing your dreams, bro.
One thing that I definitely see, and that like I have to like kind of tell myself in a sense, is take care of your mind and body. And like you said before, if you let go of a lot and you become at peace with yourself, you feel a lot better. Both mentally, probably, and physically.
I'm sorry, we got so deep on this episode.
I have to definitely tell myself that, but I love that. Like, especially, like, body, yes, but mind, yes. Like, mental health affects all the other healths. Like, physical
and the people
health,
around
like,
you.
Right.
And the people around you.
So you definitely have to take care of your mind. Like I said, I have to tell myself that all the time. But it's definitely like the biggest thing you could do for yourself.
Okay, I have some real pessimistic advice.
Uh-oh.
Y'all don't be mad at me for this one, but I had to tell myself this because it allowed me to build buffers for myself and establish it allowed me to be more resourceful. Ready for this one?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know, but
no one's coming to save you.
Oh, yep, I hear that all the time.
No one's coming to save you. You have to take care of life for yourself. You have to handle this game called life yourself because everyone else is trying to figure out how to handle this game called life.
That's actually funny because one of the other things I had written down was have zero expectations for others.
Bro.
Like, what's that line she says in Spider-Man where she's like,
expect disappointment.
You'll never be disappointed or something like that. Yes. That's literally how it is with
we watched that last night.
Zero expectations of others, because if you're expecting too much from others and you kind of know that they're not gonna follow through or something, and then they don't, like, you still get so disappointed in them and yourself because you're like, oh, I should have thought about it. Like, I knew they were gonna let me down. Like, that's back to the other thing of like, if you want something done right, do it yourself. Like, yes. But at the same time, like, you're still expecting others to like help you.
Yeah.
And sometimes like
it's such a weird line though, because
it's a gray area.
Help. You do need help sometimes, but like you don't want to put too much on someone else. It's like, but no, I mean, for me, here's why I say that though. Here's why I say that.
I feel like that what I just said has to be done in like a sense. Like, depends on what is going on, that you would have to have zero expectations for others.
I feel like for me, when I say no one's coming to save you, I feel like that is just a great mindset to have, because like, you know, maybe one day you do get a little buffer or something, but like at that point it's like a buffer. It's a helpful thing. Like you now have handled things yourself, so you can go on to like, you know, use that as like, oh, that's money I could save, or that's, you know, extra food that I could put in my house or something like that. Like if you have things already set up, that little extra bit you get isn't game changer anymore. And I think if we plan for that, and plan to like have resources or like backups to go to when we're in a jam, our lives would be a lot easier. Yeah. I think that's what helped me, you know, from living on my own to now having a family, is just being able to know, like, God forbid something goes wrong, I know where to go to like get my money or get food, or, you know, just I have things that I can do to like take care of myself and my family in a jam.
Oh, love that. I know. I think I'm gonna leave it because.
Okay, yeah, okay.
All right, well, I'm gonna go like this, because last time I almost like left where you did that in, because I didn't realize where it was. So if I think my arm will even, I have to cut it out.
What, do you want to shut it off?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
You did that. I was like, I think I'm gonna leave it off. Anymore type of thing. And I was like, oh, like it literally almost stayed in the podcast.
Oh.
Because I didn't find it. I like went back at that point and like listened, and I was like, oh, I gotta get that out.
See, that's why you edit the podcast now, because I sure would have left it in.
It's gonna be my.
What was I gonna say now? Crap.
If not, I have one more.
All right, go ahead.
So this, I don't know. I get really like particular with some things. Like if some people start exposing things before I like in my mind kind of want them exposed, like I get really like unsettled with it. So one of my things is that like I personally love is you don't have to tell all your plans or moves to anyone or everyone. Like you don't have to put it out there. Some things you just move
I have to get
on your own, and they will watch you go. They will watch you move. They will watch you like go off with your thing. They'll watch you exceed. They'll watch you go like get to the top. They'll see it happening. But I feel like all the time you don't have to be like, because then people like expect you almost to explain yourself. And sometimes you don't need to explain everything to anyone.
You don't ever need to explain anything.
Right. Anyone. And if you tell people what your plan is or what your moves are for a certain something, like they'll ask so many questions. They'll dive deep into it. They'll make you rethink it if they say something like that, like hit something and you're like, wait a minute. Like, that's right. Like, do I want to do this? No, if you have your plan and you want to do it for what you're doing, go for it.
Here we go.
You don't need to expose yourself to anyone. And that's, oh my God, I don't know why it like triggers me, but sometimes like, and people expose it and like you don't want it said yet, or you didn't want it out there, and now it's out there and you're like, oh, like I didn't want to say this. I wanted to say it when this happened, or I wanted to say it like at a certain time, and now it's out there and now I have to explain. Now I have to go. It's like, no, you do not owe anyone any type of explanation.
So here's what I told Alyssa about that. I'm glad we're talking about this, because I told her, I said, listen, we're now
fired up now.
we're now on YouTube, right? So like people are gonna like share stuff. Like
God, they do, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah, like if there's something found, like they're gonna share it.
If it's on the internet, it's on the internet. Like
so,
at
like
that point,
even if you weren't ready to share, yeah, if it was found, you gotta just get it out there, because like if not, it's gonna get leaked. At this point, like the bigger you get, the more leaks you're gonna have. You know what I mean? So like it's actually kind of a compliment when people start like leaking stuff about you, because it's like, oh shoot, people care enough about who I am to like
what you're doing
and what I'm doing to know that that's who that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
I feel like they're there, they care, and like they want to support, but I don't know, just the way it gets out there and the way it's put out there, sometimes it just bothers me, because especially if someone does it not really knowing everything, they put it out there wrong. Like not wrong, but they don't put it out there with the way you wanted it shared, the way you wanted it presented almost. And then you have to like I said, that's the whole reason of why you have to go back and explain and all this stuff, when like that really doesn't have to be what it
You don't have to
is.
explain yourself to anyone, bro. Like, I think I get really irritated when people come to me expecting me to explain myself to them.
Right. It's
Especially if I don't know you like that. Like, I don't mind.
business.
I don't mind if people are coming to me like asking me to explain myself to help them get further.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come to me asking me to explain myself because you disagree with how I'm moving in my life, like,
why did you do that? How did you
yeah,
do
I
this
don't like
instead of
that. I get
type of
upset.
situation?
I think I get upset mainly because it's like, first of all, who do you think you are? Second of all, I feel like it's more of a case of like, we're not close enough like that. Like if someone close in my circle was like, hey, can you explain why you're doing? I don't think that that's right. I don't think that that's okay. Like if you and I are having that conversation, that's a normal conversation for us to have.
I feel like depending on like that level, like they're actually like looking out like for you almost. And
Yeah,
they're like,
that's what I mean.
I
Yes,
thought you
if
would
you're
do
looking out
this.
for me, it's fine.
Right.
Are you ready for my advice hot take or my wisdom hot take?
Go ahead.
Advice most of the time, guys, is opinions. It's people's opinions.
Ooh.
And at the end of the day, not everyone's opinion is going to work for you. So like sometimes it's okay to take advice with a grain of salt and still do what you want to do. Now, I'm not talking about go disobey your parents' advice, but
Mommy, he said.
and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, right down to my own mom, like she's giving me advice on things and I've gone the complete opposite way. Because at the end of the day, my mom's just another adult who's gone through another lifetime with different experiences and different things happening. She doesn't see the same things I do. She doesn't have the same life that I have or have had. She had different experiences and different things happen during her life. And a lot of her advice is, I don't want to say like, it's tailored to the things that she went through in her life and the things that she's seen.
Should have so loved to hear this.
I know she
I'm gonna
will.
send her this podcast.
I'm just using her as an example. Mom, I love you. I love all your advice. But it's an example. So like, because someone has seen other things and has gone through other things, like they might not be able to give you the same advice. They might not be able to give you great advice. Honestly, they might not even give you relevant advice. A lot of times people that's the other thing. People will come to me and just try to give me advice. I think I read in a book once that unsolicited advice is not appreciated by many people. And you should refrain from giving unsolicited advice. Do you know what unsolicited advice
That's actually
is?
a podcast name.
Really? Unsolicited advice? Mm-hmm. Wow.
I forget who
But see,
it
at that
is,
point,
but they have a podcast called Unsolicited Advice.
at that point, if I am going to a podcast called unsolicited advice, that's not unsolicited advice anymore. I'm actually looking for the advice.
That's just the name of their podcast. I've gotten like, you know how like little ads or commercials pop up
Yeah.
on like Spotify or something, like
Yeah.
when you're listening to music, because I don't have like the premium one, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I get ads and like I don't remember their names, but it's like no, we're unsolicited advice. Like,
So
if you know what I'm talking about.
so unsolicited advice is basically when like you just randomly hit somebody up and go, hey, I think you should do blah, 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 blah. Because that implies that whatever I'm doing right now is not good enough and it does not work. I'm doing something wrong. I'm living completely wrong. That's what that basically says. And that's why I said, if you don't know me well enough, don't come to me with unsolicited advice. Because, or if you do, let me rephrase that. A lot of people don't know how to do it. You can do
You
it.
have to watch how you say things.
Especially when it comes to unsolicited advice, you have to be careful because it comes off as arrogant. You have to be careful in how you word it.
I always say that to Julian because like he'll get super excited about some things and just he'll say it, but it's not said right in a way. So I always say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Because it's also of like how you say it to someone. Like you want to make sure how you're saying it is how they're going to receive it. Because what you're saying, like you could mean it like in a whole other way, but they're going to take it a completely different way and be like, why would you say that? What do you mean by that?
And this is a whole, I love that you said that because this just supports my point even more. Alyssa knows me well enough to know that I didn't mean it in that way. She knows that. And we had to get to that point because it used to not be that way.
I used to be like, dude, like what the heck? Like, why would you say that? And he'll be like, that's not what I mean. Like you took it a complete opposite way. And that's when I'd literally be like, all right, well then it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
for me to be taking it how you mean it.
And we
if that
both,
makes sense.
so I've worked on how I've said it, but she's worked on like how she's interpreted it, because she knows like I come from a good place when I say it. But like, that's what I mean. Like, even so, imagine if us, people who live together, are having this beef about something that's said, right? Imagine being a complete outsider, not knowing me, and just coming up and being like, yo, you suck. You should probably try doing blah, 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 blah. Excuse me?
I was just gonna say that.
Excuse me? Blocked? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
and like you might not mean it, and now you're blocked on this, or we're never answering you, or like you had fully good intentions and we're like, oh, who is this guy? What does this guy want? Like da da da.
Yeah.
And now it's like we have unknown beef between us because you're thinking one thing and you're like, yeah, we're cool, and we're on the other side like, what the heck is this guy want? Like, what is he trying to do? Like,
yeah, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I just feel like, and this is something that actually happens on the internet too. Like, this is like I guess a disconnect that happens, whereas like you guys watch us, and I'm not even just with us, like a bunch of YouTubers this happens with. You guys watch people, we watch people, we feel closer to them than we actually are because we watch their lives, their daily lives on videos. Whereas like when when you're just sitting at home, like when the YouTubers just sitting at home, they have so much other stuff happening in their life. They see so much more than just the video. So where you're thinking you're involved in their entire life and you feel really close to them, they don't see you. They don't really know you. All they see is the comments that you leave.
Right.
So when you leave that like spicy comment with a joke that you saw from the video, yeah, that could be interpreted a little funny, because guess what? They don't know you the way that you know them. And that's just because guess what? You're watching them post the videos. You're not like posting a video in response that they're seeing every day too. So like there's no like back and forth there, I guess. You get what I'm saying?
I feel like you also have to think of it in like a way of like, okay, like you might know someone, but you don't fully know someone.
Yeah.
So
100%.
the way you think they're going to interpret it might not be it. So you really have to like I said, make sure you're saying it in a way where like they're going to understand. They're going to think the same way. Like they're going to know how you're trying to give them that advice.
Yep.
And like, I don't know, like a kind of way to like take it, fix it, like make it.
I think the right way to go about it personally, if I found a YouTuber who I felt like was doing something wrong, most times I don't say anything, because YouTube is such a personal interpretation thing. I think at least that's what I found. But like, if I were to do that, I think I would say, hey, I noticed something about your channel. Do you mind if can I ask you about blah, blah, blah? Or like, can I talk to you about something about your channel that I noticed? Like,
they'll definitely want to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. People love to talk about their content and their channel. Like, they're passionate about it. That's why they're uploading. So like, they'll want to, like, even for me, like I want feedback. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't want feedback, but like, I don't want disrespect. I think, and that's the biggest thing.
He'll take a roast.
Yeah, I'll take a roast.
Like, he'll take a roast.
I'll take a roast. I tell her all the time to watch it. She's like, oh, it's great. I'm like, no, I need something wrong. I need something to fix. Give me something to fix. Like, go ahead and tear this apart. You know what I mean? Like, I need that out of people more. And I think that incites disrespect sometimes, and it doesn't have to go there.
But that's where it also comes with like how you say it. Like, you might not mean it as disrespect, but like the way you say it could definitely come off that way, where it will be like, what the heck? And I'll be like,
right.
No, that's not what I mean.
But then it comes back to, at the end of the day too, like I said, though, even after you wrote, you can't be mad at me if I don't take your advice, because
it's advice.
All advice is opinionated, in my opinion. All advice, it comes from an opinion, you know. There's nothing factual most times about advice, unless you're like, hey, this book says blah 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 blah. If you're giving me like a textbook with some facts from a Harvard study,
oh dang,
something like that, that's factual. But most advice you hear, right, most advice you hear is opinionated, so don't take it with a grain of salt most times.
Fair point.
Wow, that was such a long rant. I'm so sorry, yo.
I love this.
This stuff gets me passionate. This stuff gets me passionate,
that's what I'm saying.
bro.
That's why, like, that one, I was like, oh,
because I love advice.
Yourself.
I love advice, but I hate advice. Like, at the same
depends
time.
on what you're getting advice for, I feel.
Not even just that. Like, I feel like most times when people give advice, they think that their advice is the golden standard. And I think that's what bugs me about advice a lot of times, is like,
they're the advice king.
It's
or queen.
advice. It's not like a law I have to live by. It's advice. It's advice. Like, we're not talking about a speed limit here. We're talking about how I should be living. You know what I mean? And I feel like that mindset has to change personally. Sorry, I'll die on that hill, bro. I don't care. I don't care. I will.
Well, I feel like this would go really well into my question of the week. So the question I thought of for this topic is, what advice would you give yourself right now? Like right in this moment of where you're at right now in life?
Stay the course.
Whoa, that came quick.
That's it. Because that's all I could think of. Stay the course. That's like literally like what I tell myself every day. Like, I have days where I have awful numbers. I have days where I have great numbers. Every single day, I don't get hung up on it. I look at it like, all right, 2K yesterday, cool. 50 today. All right, that's fine. Do it again tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where like I look at it, see it, and I'm like, dude, either way, there's something to improve on. There's some way to get better. Just stay the course and keep trying, you know?
I don't know why, the first thing I thought of was like how, like where we are right now in life in general. From when you're listening to this, we are going to have a son that turns 1 year old in 10 days. So my thing is like, I reflect back on like how fast this past year has gone. So at this point, I'm just in like a take it slow, like slow it down, take it all in. Like they're only going to hit once. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to like take it slow, take it all in.
I just had to fact check her real quick, y'all. She's right. 10 days. Jesus.
Right. It's crazy.
That's crazy,
It's
bro.
crazy, right? Like now that you're noticing,
I had
you're
to
like,
fact
dang.
check her real quick. I'm like, wait, is it really gonna
You're
be
like,
10
no
days?
way.
Yo, yeah.
It's 10 days.
That's
like
crazy,
1
bro.
year old. Like when you're listening to this, like I said, we're about to go to Florida. Part of why we're going to Florida is we're going to be spending his birthday down there.
That's
like
crazy, bro.
we're going for another one of like my family events. So while we're down there, because it's like so short in time, were extended our stay, having his birthday down there. Like he might not remember the whole thing, but we will. And I feel like we're gonna make it a great time for
Dad's
both
gonna
us
celebrate.
and him.
Dad's gonna celebrate.
And like it's just definitely gonna be a moment where it's gonna be like, okay, take it slow. Like we're like now like a family just having actual family time. Like ever since I went back to work after maternity leave, we never really had like a vacation all together. I mean, we went down to Florida, but like it was for a weekend. Like it wasn't like, and it was work too. Like it was kind of a vacation, kind of work. So like this is gonna be like a almost mostly vacation. Like Julian's still probably gonna be like obviously vlogging, which is like partial work, but it's not gonna be what we were down there for last year. Like last year was more like we were sitting in right. So we were sitting in like presentations, like all that stuff. Like this is gonna be a more like slow paced, relaxing.
Don't get me wrong,
time.
I had my drinks, man. Like I was sitting there. I was sitting in those meetings. I had what did I have? I had some like fruity drink right before the meeting. I was like, ooh, that was fire. So I was just sitting there. Kevin was up there talking. I was like, sounds great, bro.
Sad thing is, I probably would have done the same if I didn't lose my license right when we got there. But anyways, that's besides the story.
No, I lost your license.
I went to go get a drink and I didn't have a license.
I lost your license.
Needless to say, I didn't get a drink.
I lost your license, bro. That was crazy. That was a bad trip. I forgot my camera battery at home, or my camera battery charger. It was a little
stressful. It was the first time traveling with a baby. We're not experienced. Obviously, we only did it once.
We're better than we were.
We know what to look for, what we're missing.
Oh no, and we were moving, bro. We were in the middle of moving.
So we left to go down, leaving from one spot, coming home to another.
Yeah.
Like we were literally in the midst. Like when we left, we didn't even have a place. Like we didn't have a home. We had just sold our home, but we weren't able to move into the new place yet. Like this place yet. If you're watching, like the place we're in, we didn't even have this space yet. It was after we came back. So when we went down, we were literally like not homeless, but like we were in a hotel and in his grandmother's spot. Like it was a little stressful. Like there was a lot going on.
Yeah. So I forgot my camera battery.
It was a very crazy time.
Dude, some girl really was so helpful. I forget her name, but she was so helpful. She tried to give me a charger and it didn't fit. I was so upset. I had a beautiful camera with me and it didn't work. I literally I ordered like Instacart from Best Buy. They didn't have the battery there. I was like, oh.
He tried his hardest.
I
But
did.
that's why this time we're here staying. Like, we have a spot to leave and come home to. Like, it's gonna be more of like a slow down, like, take this in, enjoy this vacation, because
Yeah,
now it's actually
100%.
gonna be like a week-long vacation almost. Like, I don't know, it's just one of those. And then he turns 1, it's gonna be like a whole, I'm probably gonna cry, to be honest with you. So it's gonna be
I'm gonna be
like
celebrating, boy.
it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good time.
So what was your thing? Relax, slow down,
Slow down and take it all in.
take it all in. Gotcha.
I feel like going back to work, I was with him for like February to June. So almost like 4 months, 3.5 months. Like, yeah, 3.5 months, which is like a good time. But like going back to work, I don't want to say I've missed out on a lot, but I feel like haven't fully been here 100% because I've been back to work. And there's definitely been little times like I've missed. So it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not easy.
I worked like ever since the end of March. So end of March, early April. From there on, every holiday that came up, every little thing has been his first.
yeah.
So like I feel like I just wasn't fully present in a lot. Like 4th of July, he was really young, so like I was really scared for fireworks for him. Plus I was by myself because Julian was on a cruise. So like his first 4th,
Oh, man,
I was like,
that's
oh
so
my
bad.
God, like our fireworks gonna go off. Is he gonna get scared? Is he gonna be crying during the night? If he cries, like I'm by myself. Like
Yeah.
if he doesn't go to sleep, like I'm not sleeping. Like is it gonna be like
Sleeps
the
like a
worst
rock.
night? Like literally he sleeps through everything. Like such an angel child, I swear to you. But I feel like after that, like Labor Day was when we were in Florida, so like that's really not like the biggest holiday. But like his first Halloween, like I had worked, so by the time I came home it was too late to take him out. Not that like his first Halloween I would have wanted almost to take him out, but like I wanted to do something with him. We never did anything because I came home too late. Then we still like had other like work stuff to do, like YouTube wise. I don't know, it was just a lot. Thanksgiving was good.
It just went too fast.
Right. Like we had Thanksgiving and then we traveled right after. So it just felt not rushed, but like we had a lot going on. Like Christmas was good. Christmas was a little crazy, but it was good. Like all his first, you're just trying to make it like really good, like almost perfect. Not like knowing it can't be perfect, but like like I said, it's all his first. So like you want to remember it. It's going to be a good time, blah, blah, blah. I missed his first Valentine's Day because I was working. Like all that little stuff, like New Year's, we were with him. It was fine. I'm trying to think of like all the other holidays. Like, I don't know, like little,
I work New Year's.
little things. Like Valentine's Day is not really like the biggest thing, but I don't know, like it's just like you miss it. So it's like, dang, like not that we probably would have done much, but I'm like, oh, like I literally didn't see him almost at all
On Valentine's Day.
Day, because by the time I left for work, he was napping. When I came home, it was way past his bedtime. He was already asleep. Like, I don't know. It's just like a missed thing altogether. So
Yeah. I kind of
It's
took
just-
that. I took that into consideration. It's hard because like you want to keep him up at the same time. He's
yeah,
like
but at that point,
when
it's
he
just-
hits his wall, bro. Like
he hits it.
he really
He
does.
slams it.
Yeah, he hits a wall, man, and like you could just see when he hits
metaphorically,
the
people,
wall.
metaphorically,
No, sometimes he goes into rooms.
full force.
Sometimes
But I
he
don't know.
throws himself.
It's also just like a thing where like, as a mom, like the little things are more important to you than like, I don't know. I don't want to say like as they should be,
yeah,
but like you just take them to heart a little more.
yeah.
So I don't know. That's why I'm like, okay, I really got to like take this in. Like I want this week to be really good. Like I said, we're going for one family event, but after that, it's like strictly we're going for him.
Play.
Like it's going to be all
Strictly
him.
Play.
So
That's what I'm saying. I don't
love
even know
it.
how much I'm gonna stream, but I would love to stream while I'm down there. I think it'd be hilarious.
I could like once, but
I think I would do a
I
Twitch
probably
stream in the
won't. I
hotel.
honestly don't think it'd be more than that.
I think I only have one day. Yeah, I agree.
So
All right, guys. And on that note, we're not gonna bore you anymore with this.
sorry for all the rants. Sorry if we went too deep into everything, but
I feel like we got real vulnerable with you guys today.
we really did.
So I hope y'all enjoyed that portion of it. But yeah, we are out of here, man. Keep grinding, keep chasing your dreams. Remember, nothing without them because easy. We out. Peace.
Peace.